Hello students, let's do integers exercise 1. Exercise 1D is on page number 16. Here we'll be doing word problems on integers. Question 1. The sum of two integers is minus 15. If one of them is 9, find the other. So when we have word problems, we need to first write down what's given to us. So the sum of two integers is given to us as minus 15. Then we are told that one integer is 9. So we have been asked to find the other integer. So let the other integer be x. Now when I add up x and 9, I should get minus 15. So let's write that down. So x plus, we are adding up, isn't it? The other integer is 9. X plus 9 is minus 15. Now this has become an equation. We've learned equations earlier. Now we have a left hand side here and a right hand side, and we are saying they're equal to each other. So this is an equation. Now we have to solve for x. So let's do that. So now we're going to solve for x. Now this symbol means implies. This we use for an equation. That means implies that or means that. Okay. So x is equal to, on the right hand side we have minus 15. We're going to leave it as it is. Now we're going to do something called transposing, which we learned last year. That is, I'm going to move away plus 9 from here because I want only x, isn't it? So I have to remove 9 from here. So I'm going to move it to the other side. That is called transposing. So when you move it to the other side, plus 9 will become minus 9. It has moved from one side to the other, isn't it? So it will change. Plus will now become minus. So what does this imply? It implies that x is equal to, now we have to simplify minus 15 minus 9. Signs are the same. So we put the same sign and we add 15 plus 9 is 24. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to minus 24. That means the other integer, we've been asked to find the other integer, that is minus 24. Question 2. The difference between integers x and minus 6 is minus 5. Okay, the difference is when you subtract. Find the values of x. Why have they said values? Because there is more than one value for x in this question. And this happens, you get more values for x when we are talking about difference. That means when we are subtracting. And we have been given a hint in this question. Okay, so here they're saying x minus 6. Okay, because x is the other integer. One integer has been given to us and the answer is also given to us. So x minus 6 is minus 5, or you can put this minus 6 in the beginning. Here we have put it second, isn't it? We put x first. Now we can put minus 6 first and write minus 6 minus x is equal to minus 5. So we're going to solve this one now. Okay, so let's do that. The difference between the integers x and minus 6 is given to us as minus 5. So now let's begin. We'll use this first portion that's given to us. Okay, we'll work out that. So x minus 6, that is the difference between x and minus 6, they say is minus 5. So now we're going to solve for x. So this is a symbol for an equation. It means implies that. So now, before I solve for x, I'm going to open this bracket. Now, when you open a bracket, you need to be very careful to see the sign outside the bracket. The sign outside the bracket is minus. If it is minus, this sign will change. Minus 6 will become plus 6. So we take away the sign and we put plus 6. So x plus 6 is equal to minus 5. Now we can solve for x. X is equal to, on the right hand side we have minus 5 as it is. Now we're going to transpose this plus 6 to the right hand side. It will become minus 6. So it is minus 6. So now x is equal to, minus and minus signs are the same. So put the same sign and add 5 plus 6 is 11. So we've got one answer, x is equal to minus 11 if we put x first. Now let's take the second part where we're going to put minus 6 first. Okay, so let's work that out and see. Minus 6 minus x is equal to minus 5. Now I need only minus x here on the left hand side. So I have to remove minus 6. So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep only minus x on the left hand side. On the right hand side I have minus 5. Now I'm going to transpose this minus 6 to the right hand side. So that will become plus 6. So let me write that plus 6. Now we're going to find the value of minus x. Look at this now. Signs are different, minus and plus. So whenever signs are different, we put the sign of the bigger number and we subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. So minus x is equal to plus 1. So minus x means minus 1x, isn't it? Minus 1x is equal to 1. So now we want to find only the value of x. So I'm going to put only x here and I'm going to remove that minus 1. So I have x here. On the other side I have 1. Okay, I'll write it as plus 1. Now this minus 1 here is multiplication, isn't it? Minus 1 into x is minus 1x. So when I have to transpose it to the right hand side, it will become division. So this becomes minus 1 divided by minus 1. So x is equal to plus 1 divided by minus 1. So in division, when signs are different, your answer is negative. And 1 by 1, when you divide 1 by 1, your answer is 1. So here we have found the value of x. X is equal to minus 1. So here x is minus 1 and in the previous one we found x is minus 11. So we've got two values for x. So the final answer, the values of x are minus 11 and minus 1. Question 3. The sum of two integers is given to us. If one integer is minus 45, find the other integer. Now whenever we are talking about sum, we'll only get one value. So keep that in mind. When you're talking about difference, for integers, we found two values, isn't it, for the previous question. Now this is sum, we will find only one value. So let's write what's given to us. The sum of two integers is given to us, that is 28. And one integer is given to us, that's minus 45. Now let the other integer be x. Let's consider the other integer to be x. So now the question says the sum of two integers. That means if I add up x and minus 45, my answer is 28. This is given to us in the question. So now again it's an equation. We have a left hand side and a right hand side and they're equal to each other. Now we can solve for x. First let's open the bracket. X. Now before you open the bracket, I said see the sign before the bracket. If it is plus, there is no change in the sign. So I'm going to remove plus and write minus 45, no change. So I'll write minus 45 as it is. So x minus 45 is equal to 28. Now we're going to solve for x. We only need x here. We don't need that minus 45. Okay, so we are going to remove that minus 45 and we're going to put it on the right hand side. So that becomes plus 45. 28 plus 45. So now we can find the value of x. Let's add up 28 and 45. 8 plus 5 is 13, carry 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7. So x is equal to 73. So we have found the other integer. The other integer is 73. Question 4. The sum of two integers is minus 56. If one integer is minus 42, find the other. Similar to the other sums, isn't it? So let's begin. The sum of two integers is given to us as minus 56. One integer is given to us, that is minus 42. Now we have been asked to find the other integer, so let that be x. So the sum of two integers, isn't it? That means x plus minus 42 is one integer, and the sum is minus 56 given to us in the question. So we have an equation here. So let's write x. Now we're going to open the brackets. The sign before that is plus, so no change in this. So we are going to write minus 42 without a change. That is equal to minus 56. Now we're going to solve for x. We want only x, isn't it? So we're going to remove minus 42 from the left hand side. We're going to remove it from here and we're going to take it to the right hand side. So on the right hand side we have minus 56 and minus 42 when it comes here becomes plus 42. So now we're going to solve for x. Now here we have minus and plus. When signs are different, put the sign of the bigger number and subtract. So subtract 56 and 42. Minus 6 minus 2 is 4, 5 minus 4 is 1, we get 14. So x is equal to minus 14. So we have found the value of the other integer to be minus 14. Question 5. The difference, again we are talking about difference, so we have to be careful. The difference between an integer x and minus 9 is 6. Again, find all possible values of x. So if it is difference, you will find different values for x. So let's begin. The difference between an integer x and minus 9 is given to us as 6. So that is, you take an integer x and you subtract minus 9 from it, your answer is 6. So what have we done? This time we have put x first. Next time we'll put minus 9 first, okay, to find the other value. So I put x first. Now I'm going to find the value of x from this equation. So that implies that x, now I'm going to open my brackets. So the sign before the bracket is minus, that means minus 9 will now become plus 9. So x plus 9 is equal to 6. Now I'm going to find the value of x. I need only x here. So on the right hand side I have 6. Now I don't need plus 9 here. I'm going to transpose it to the other side. It becomes minus 9. So 6 minus 9. So the value of x here is, after solving 6 minus 9, let's see what we get. So here the signs are different. So we put the sign of the bigger number and we subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. So here we have found one value of x to be minus 3. How did we get that? We put x first. So here we put x first. Now let's put minus 9 first and find out the value of x. So minus 9, then we write minus, we're subtracting x, isn't it? It's subtraction because it says difference. Minus 9 minus x is equal to 6. This is given to us in the question itself. Now we're going to find the value of x. So minus x is equal to 6. And we're going to remove minus 9 from the left hand side. We're going to transpose it to the right hand side. So minus 9 will now become plus 9. Now minus x is equal to 6 plus 9 is 15. So minus x is equal to 15. Minus x means minus 1x. But we only need to find the value of x. So I have to remove minus 1 also from here. So x is equal to 15. Now I need to remove this minus 1. And minus 1 here is multiplication. Minus 1 into x, isn't it? So when this multiplication goes to the right hand side, it becomes division. So I will write minus 1 here as division. Now 15 has a plus sign, it's understood, and 1 has minus sign. Now this is division. So now what happens here, when it is division, the signs are different, your answer will be negative. Then 15 divided by 1 is 15. So we have found the value of x here to be minus 15. So the second part, the value of x is minus 15. The first part we had minus 3. Second part we had minus 15. Can you see the values of x will keep changing when it is difference or subtraction. So all possible values of x are minus 3 and minus 15. So this is my answer. Question 6. Write all the integers between minus 15 and 15 which are divisible by 2 and 3. So there's a condition here. These numbers that you're going to write should be divisible by 2 and by 3. So first thing, let's write down all the integers between minus 15 and 15, starting with minus 14. Minus 14, minus 13, minus 12, minus 11, minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, minus 7. Then we write minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1 and 0. Then all numbers up to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Now from these we need to pick out the integers which are divisible by 2 and 3. And all of us know the test for 2 and 3, isn't it? If a number is divisible by 2, it should be an even number. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all these are even numbers. And if it is divisible by 3, then I need to add up the digits and they should be in the tables of 3. So among all these numbers, let's see which are divisible by 2 and 3. Remember, all even numbers are divisible by 2. So first what we'll do is we'll circle all the even numbers. So we have minus 14, minus 12, minus 10. These are all divisible by 2. But we need to see if they're divisible by 3 also. So let's circle all these first. All the even numbers or numbers ending in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. So we have circled all the numbers that are divisible by 2. Now we're going to see if they are divisible by 3 also. So let's look at the first number, 14. So how do we know if it's divisible by 3? It should be in the tables of 3. Or you add up 4 plus 1 is 5. So this minus 14 is not in the tables of 3. So we cannot write that number. Let's go to the next one, minus 12. Minus 12. Now look at 12. Is 12 in the tables of 3? Yes. So this number is divisible by 2 as well as by 3. So it is minus 12. Next one that we have circled is minus 10. 10 is not in the tables of 3. So take it off. Then we have minus 8. 8 is not in the tables of 3. Take it off. Then we have minus 6. 6 is in the tables of 3. So that is divisible both by 2 and by 3. Then the next one, minus 4 is not in the tables of 3. Minus 2, no. You cannot, it's not divisible. Now 0. 0 is divisible both by 2 and by 3. How do I know that? If I divide 0 by 2, I'll get 2 zeros are 0. So it is divisible. It is divisible by 3 also. So I need to write down 0. Then, which is the next number that is circled? 2. 2 is not in the tables of 3. Then 4. 4 is not in the tables of 3. Then 6. 6 is in the tables of 3. So let me write down 6. Then 8 is the next number that's circled. It is not divisible by 3. 10 is not in the tables of 3. 12 is in the tables of 3. So 12 is divisible both by 2 and by 3. 14. 14 is not in the tables of 3. So these are the numbers or the integers that are divisible by 2 and 3. Minus 12, minus 6, 0, 6 and 12. Question 7. A similar question. Write all the integers between minus 5 and 5 which are divisible by 2 or by 3. So let's write down all the integers between minus 5 and 5. So minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now from these we have to pick out the numbers that are divisible by 2 or by 3. So the integers that are divisible by 2 or by 3. So remember, the integers that are divisible by 2 are all the even numbers. So let's circle all the even numbers. 4 minus 4, then we have 2 minus 2, 0, 2 and 4. So these are all the numbers that are divisible by 2. Now let's look at the other numbers and see the ones which are in the tables of 3, which can be divided by 3. So we have minus 3. So 3 is divisible. Minus 1, no. 1, no. And then we have 3. So what are all the numbers or the integers between minus 5 and 5 which are divisible by 2 or 3? Let's write it down. Minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, 0, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the integers that are divisible by 2 or by 3. So we'll stop with that for now, children. We will continue with the remaining questions in our next video. Thank you, children.